episode number 246. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We have Superman and we have Star Wars. Dr. Aphra, let's talk about him right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to talk about these comics here. We're going to start with Superman, and then we're going to jump into Star Wars. But let's see who's better on that list and who might take it to the silver screen in the future. All right, so we got Superman, written by Joshua Williamson. He's doing a great job, by the way. Issue number 28. This starts off a new storyline because Joshua Williamson is smart enough to know when to end a story. Like some writers don't. It's crazy that they just keep going and going and going. So now we have something fresh here. I really appreciate it. It's, of course, under the Superman Summer of Superman special, because, of course, we have the movie out right now, which I would think is half the people are enjoying it and half the people think it's, well, I think it's like in thirds, actually. A third of the people think that it's great. Another third thinks that it's just average, which I fall into that. And then the other third is people that hate it completely. I didn't hate it. But if you'd like to see my review, I'll put it above here right now. All right, so let's jump into Superman here. Now, issue number 28 with this start. Also, the art is by Dan Mora. So it starts with Superman doing some various things, and we have, voiceover and narration. But, I mean, look at that. I mean, Dan Mora knows how to draw Superman. That's for sure. That is an incredible picture there. It just really grabs the attention. But then we go, I'm not sure I like how Martha Kent is here. She looks really strange. I don't know. That would not be my first choice with how Mom Kent would look. But anyway, so he is reminiscing about his days with the Legion and decides that he's going to go into the future and, I guess, commune with them or whatever else, just hang out. I guess he just needs some friends or whatever else, because he actually says in here that, in my human friends, I can only be a certain part of me, but with them, I can be everything. So, and of course, he grew up with a certain amount when he was Superboy, etc. And Darkseid is dead at this point. I forgot how he died, but he is dead. So he puts on the ring, and he ends up calling Imra, which is Saturn Girl, but it's like a Darkseid version of Saturn Girl. So then we get Cosmic Boy or Lightning Lad and Cosmic Boy or whatever else. I don't know why they're still called boy when they're obviously men. But they end up crushing the Watchtower with everybody in it. And Superman tries to go save them, and Mr. Terrific's in here, and he's in the Watchtower. And I guess they kill everyone in the Watchtower, and he gets pissed off, and he hits Cosmic Boy in the face, denting that face up. And then they go after Ma Kent, and then he realizes that it's all in his head, and that Saturn Girl is controlling his mind. And then all of a sudden, the Time Trapper, which is Doomsday. I kind of like that twist. I don't know how it happens yet. We haven't seen the origin of Time Trapper yet, or how Doomsday becomes that. But we get this nice little splash page of her controlling his mind. And then Time Trapper shows up and smashes her and basically disconnects that connection. And then I guess he goes into this pocket timeline that Time Trapper created, and it's a Smallville type thing, and Superman Prime or Superboy Prime shows up, and that's where it ends. So really interesting stuff. I have no idea where this storyline's going at this point, but I like it. I like it. I'm very intrigued, and of course, Dan Moore's art is pushing everything forward. So that guy just it's just the story could even be crap, and Dan Moore's art is just gonna be a standout. But Josh Williams doing a really good job here, and I would love to see something else. I'd like to see James Gunn turn the writing over to somebody else for Superman in the future, because I think it's going to do well enough that we are going to see another one. I don't know. I'm hoping it gets to 600 million. I guess we'll know this weekend about where it's going to go based on its fight with Fantastic Four, which I may go see next week. I don't know. I'm really against some of the casting in there, but people have said that it's. I had the same problem with Aquaman. Aquaman is my favorite character. Fantastic Four on the Marvel side is my favorite group, and even more than X-Men and Avengers for that matter. And I'm continuing my John Byrne ride right now. I'm trying to grab all the 80s shit, and they said that it was a nice throwback to that stuff, more the Kirby stuff. So I hated the Aquaman casting also, yet I thought that James Wan did a good job of creating the world. So maybe it'll be that way with this. So I might give it a shot next week when it doesn't matter as much. But also, before we go into Star Wars, remember, too, that I am a writer myself. So if you'd like to check out anything that I've written, you can click the link in the description below or just type my name into Amazon. Also, remember, too, that we are... if you click on Amazon, you'll find my 4-novel series. Destiny Aurora was turned into a graphic novel, a board game, and an RPG. It's also on Audible. All my books are on Kindle, so you can definitely check that out, too, including my fantasy novel Tales of Ravenor, the Iron Witch, and my new comic called Fairy Tales of Terror, where we have a killer Cinderella. I think everybody, when I went to the convention, I did a Atlanta convention, or I just said it that way. It's just, I got a psycho Cinderella killing people. Everybody's like, huh? But I got some of them printed. Just they're only 15 pages right now because the other 15 pages are still going to have to be done after the Kickstarter launches. But you can go to the QR code here or the link in the description below, and you can sign up. It hasn't launched yet, but it will within the next week because I have the video being done. But anyway, there's some of the covers that I'm having, because Captain Hook is also in it, and so is Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily is actually the hero of the story, and you can see some more pictures of Cinderella and stuff like that. So yeah, I think they came out pretty nice, and I have one more cover as well, and then I have some tweaks that I have to do to some of the art. But yeah, so definitely check that out. It's gonna be fun. We have over 500 followers right now, so definitely jump in there. We have far more than I ever thought I would get, so I'm pretty excited. All right, so let's jump into Star Wars. So this is the Dr. Aphra, which I was collecting Dr. Aphra. I forgot who was doing it originally. I don't know if it was Rucka. I forgot who was doing it originally, the first writer on it. No, it wasn't Rucka. Anyway, I forgot who it was. But then Alyssa Wong came into it, and she destroyed it. She just destroyed everything that was created before she walked in the door. Because the first part, we had the murder droids and all that stuff. She was working for Vader. It was really good. And then Alyssa Wong took it in just in a completely different direction, where she really leaned into her being a lesbian, and it was another group, and it just got almost unreadable by the end. I don't touch anything Alyssa Wong does now, because if you destroy Dr. Aphra like that, there's no hope for you, man. And I heard some of the other stuff that she wrote was really bad. And I don't doubt it. But anyway, yeah, so I'm keeping away from anything that she writes. But then there was a new writer on, because she destroyed it so badly that it got canceled. So we got a new writer in here, and there's another, because now, Marvel can only hire writers that matched the ethnicity of the character. So we had Alyssa Wong because Dr. Aphra is Asian, and now we got Cherish Chen because she's Asian. It's so stupid, so stupid. And however, so I was really reluctant walking in here, and this is number 2. The first issue I actually really liked, so I'm like, all right, I'll pick up the next issue. And she's not getting political with it. She's staying with the characters, and she's bringing in the legendary characters. So I like it. But she's getting formulaic with it already in issue 2. And the artwork is okay. It's not like the opening page is really good. But basically she's working for Luke right now, and Luke is trying to get Jedi artifacts, and which falls into what Dr. Aphra is. So she's like an Indiana Jones, of the Star Wars universe. I wish there was a little bit more to this that's more Indiana Jones, where we have some tomb raiding going on or whatever else, but we're not. So it needs some help. So I don't dislike this. I just think there's a lot of missed opportunity with what she's doing. Right? And some of the very uncanny valley for some of Luke's faces there. I mean, look at that face. I'm like, whoa, that's scary. But what I do like about what she's doing is that Luke is the very stoic guy on this one, where, he was very impulsive when he was younger, so in the original movies up to the last movie, and where he would just spout out stuff, and that's how she is. She's very impulsive and very emotional, and it's funny to see the dichotomy of their personalities clashing. But anyway, the commander of the New Republic that they're working for turned off her tattoos that she uses to hack or slice in the Star Wars universe, and she's pissed off about it. And he says, "Look, after they trust you, they'll just turn them back on. So just do your work. Just do your work, man." So anyway, they're looking for this other artifact. I could give a shit less because it has no consequence. That's the other problem, is that what they're looking for has no consequence to the story. So there's no stakes at all, and that's part of the other problem. So they go to this bar. They talk to this guy, and he said, or it's a female. It doesn't look like a female, but it's an alien, so you can't tell. And so they get nothing out of him. But meanwhile, Luke is a legend here. He's obviously like a well-known guy. He's just famous. So this other waitress or whatever else ends up giving them the information about where the guy is that they were looking for. And they go and they look in the general area, and everybody closes the door on their faces. And they finally go to a bar, and everybody won't talk to Luke, but she says, "Give me all your money." He's like, "Why?" She's like, "You're a Jedi and you're famous. What do you need money for anyway?" And he's like, "Oh, whatever." And he ends up giving her all his credits so that she could go play cards and try to get information that way. But anyway, she ends up sitting across from an old Republic mercenary or whatever, and he doesn't want to give her any information, but somehow she knows the secret code of the Republic or whatever else, and it's like Morse code, so they're tapping, and as they're playing cards, it's almost like, the hit me type of tap, but she's using it to communicate with him, and then he communicates back, which I thought that was pretty good. I gotta say, I wouldn't have thought about that myself. But anyway, he ends up meeting them later, and shows them where to go. And once he does, they end up having a confrontation. It's really the only action scene in this thing. And she gets bitch slapped too. But this is really the only action scene in the whole book, which is, it's unfortunate. And they end up getting it, and he says, "Okay, I'm out. I'm done. This was my only 2 missions." Well, he's like, she's like, "What am I going to do now?" And he says, "Well, this is your new partner," and it ended up being Han Solo. So for the next issue, she's teamed up with Han Solo. So And I love the covers too, by the way. But it's just missed opportunity because there was so much more. There's no depth to it at all. So it's just really the banter. The only reason to read it is really the banter between her and Luke, because their mission makes absolutely no difference to anything that's going on. It does nothing. So I hope that she gets a little bit more in depth with things. It's right now. There's no continuing story either. It's like a one and done. So I don't know if she thinks that she's just gonna get canceled and she's just kind of getting one shots out there. I don't know, but I hope that she can do something. I would love to see Dr. Aphra in a movie, in a Star Wars movie, or even a TV show where we do like a Tomb Raider, Lara Croft type of character, but not this, because there's nothing here. So besides the dialogue, there's just nothing that she's writing. I'm going to keep going because eventually she might lock onto something that'll be interesting. Because it's not her writing that's bad; it's her plotting. Her plotting is bad. So I hope we get some more story than what we're getting right now. And Superman, I don't. I mean, of course, we can't do a movie on the Legion. There's too many characters. But we'll see where it goes, because it may, if we have 5 villains or whatever else, it might be pretty interesting. And then, maybe this brings Darkseid back. I don't know. But, we have Superboy Prime and stuff like that in there. But they could be watered down, too, if they decide to do a movie on this, because we're definitely going to get a sequel. So we'll see what happens. But and then, of course, Time Trapper wouldn't be able to be there either, because we haven't even introduced it to Doomsday yet. So I don't know if this would work as a movie. Maybe just the Legion side. But I guess we'll see. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I greatly appreciate it. Remember to give me a like. Give me a thumbs up if you can. If you can't subscribe, please do. Ring that bell, ding, ding. Share this video out there so people know, even normies can see what's going on in Superman and Star Wars right now, especially when I think a lot of people are interested in Superman right now. Remember, too, that jump into my Amazon, and definitely jump into Fairy Tales of Terror. When I launch next week, maybe I'll be up to 550 followers, which would be great. QR code is here. Link in the description below. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.